Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be guiding you through a very relaxing, gentle, restorative yoga sequence. We will be incorporating blocks in today's class, so if you have those, go ahead and grab them. I'm just using my cork blocks from Manduka, but if you have foam or any other type of material, those work just as well. And if you don't have yoga blocks, but you'd like to purchase some, I'm going to go ahead and link my blog post below where I talk about the benefits of using yoga props in your practice, the best place to purchase them, and the best props to use. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click the link below. Other than that, grab your yoga blocks, grab your mats, and I'll meet you there. So once you've made it on your yoga mat, we're going to go ahead and grab our blocks. We're going to start today's class in Baddha Konasana, or butterfly pose, bringing the soles of the feet together and allowing the knees to gently open along the sides, getting a stretch in the hips. Bringing the blocks directly underneath the knees, and play around with the height here. I have mine at the lowest height, but you could always have yours at medium height, just depending on how much support you'd like here. You can interlace the fingers, wrap them around the feet, elongating the spine. We're going to lift our right arm up towards the sky, then gently draw the right ear towards the right shoulder. And then beginning to draw the chin to the chest. Bringing the right ear back to the right shoulder. Releasing your right arm back down, bringing your neck back to a neutral position, reaching the left arm up towards the sky, and then drawing the left ear towards the left shoulder. Bringing the chin to the chest. And then drawing that left ear to the left shoulder once more. Release your left hand back down, interlace the fingers and bring it along the base of the skull. Bring the elbows together and draw the chin to the chest. On your next inhale, lift the head and neck, draw the elbows apart, and then exhale, bring the elbows together, chin to chest. Inhale, open the elbows, release the hands back down, interlacing the hands along the feet, finding a nice tall spine, and then we're going to find seated cats and cows. So as you inhale, open the chest, exhale, round through the spine, drawing the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, open the heart, and exhale, chin to chest. So repeat this a few more times at your own pace, moving as slowly as you'd like, moving with your breath. Good. From here, we're gently going to draw the knees together and then bring the blocks along the sides of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, twist towards the right, bringing the left hand to the right knee. Right hand comes behind you. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, twist to the left side. Gently untwisting, we're going to come onto our knees. So bringing the blocks back onto the mat, making sure they're about shoulder width distance apart. We're going to play around with the puppy pose variation here. So play around with the height of the blocks. You can have them at the lowest height, or if you'd like a deeper stretch, you can bring them at the medium heights. So making sure the hips are stacked above the knees, bringing the elbows on top of the blocks, bringing palms to touch. Allow the neck and head to drop through the arms, maybe resting your forehead on the mat or the crown of your head, depending on the height of your blocks. And you can draw palms and fingers towards the back and between the shoulder blades. Breathe here, allowing an openness in the chest and shoulders. And you can always change the height of your blocks if you need to. Taking a few more rounds of deep breaths, filling the lungs completely. And slowly coming out of the pose. Adjusting your blocks if you need to. We're going to come into a different puppy pose variation. So you could start with the blocks at the lowest height. We're going to place the palms on the mat, again keeping the hips stacked above the knees. And elongating the arms, so your forehead should be resting on the mat this time. Getting a different stretch in the shoulders and the chest. Keeping your left hand pressed into the block, we're going to bring the right arm underneath the left arm, coming into a thread the needle variation. Resting the right ear on the mat. Slowly untwisting, bringing the right palm on top of the block. Then bringing the left arm underneath the right, allowing the left ear to rest on the mat. Bringing the left arm back, extending both palms onto the blocks. And then slowly coming out of the pose, sitting back on the ankles. Keeping one block on the mat, removing the other, we're going to gently come onto the belly. Bringing the block directly in front of you at the lowest height and resting the left ear on the mat. From here, you can extend the left arm out to the side. You can keep it straight or bent in a cactus-like shape. You're going to lift the right leg up and over, coming into a gentle prone twist. So bending the knee. It's okay if your foot doesn't quite reach the floor. You can stay here, or you can reach the right arm up towards the sky, finding a gentle bind along the low back. So find whatever variation here works for you. Getting a gentle stretch in the front chest and deltoids. If you have a bind, go ahead and reach the arm back up. And then coming back through center, releasing that right leg back down. Switching sides, bringing the right ear along the block. Extending the right arm. And then lifting the left leg up and over. Breathing wherever you are, taking whatever variation you'd like. Slowly coming back through center, bringing the left leg to meet the right. Slowly prop yourself back up, coming onto the knees. We'll remove the block here and begin to lay on the back. Bringing the hands extended along the sides, Bringing the heels back slightly so that they touch the fingertips. From here, we're going to come into a supported bridge pose. So grabbing one block from the side. When you're ready, lifting the hips up gently and placing the block along the low back against the tailbone. So your low back should be completely supported. Making sure the feet are about hip-width distance apart, toes facing the front of the mat. You can relax the arms alongside the body or bringing hands along opposite elbows and resting them above the head. And if you'd like a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can move the block to the second highest height. Otherwise, staying where you are, breathing into the space, releasing any tension in the low back and the sacrum. And if you're comfortable where you are, you can stay here. Otherwise, you could come into a pigeon pose shape, crossing the right ankle on top of the left knee, allowing gravity to gently open up the right hip. Slowly uncrossing, bringing the right foot back down and switching sides, keeping the toes nice and flexed to protect the knee. Uncrossing the left foot, bringing it back down. If you have your arms extended above the head, go ahead and release. And then lifting the hips up to bring the block away from the low back. And then when you're ready, slowly bringing yourself back up into a seated position. We're going to grab both blocks here, placing them along either side of the knees. We're going to come into a Supta Baddha Konasana. So drawing the soles of the feet together and resting the knees on top of the blocks, coming onto the forearms and slowly resting on your back. You can rest your hands on top of your thighs. And beginning to breathe evenly in and out through the nose. And then when you're ready, using your hands to bring the knees together, slowly coming back up, removing the blocks from the mat, coming back on the forearms, and gently windshield wiping the knees to each side. And then you're going to grab one of your blocks and place it long ways along the spine, making sure it's in the thoracic area, in the mid-back, and in between the shoulder blades. And coming into fish pose here, so allowing the head and neck to gently drop behind you. If you need a little bit more support, you can add a block underneath your head, but allowing yourself to be completely vulnerable in this heart opener, Breathing into the center of your chest. Taking one last deep breath here. And then as you're ready, slowly coming onto the forearms, propping yourself up into a seated position. And we'll transition into Hero's Pose, and I'll offer you a few different variations. Coming to sit in between the feet with the knees bent. Allowing the thighs to rotate internally. And placing the hands on top of the thighs. If this is comfortable for you, stay here. Otherwise, grab a block, place it underneath the sit bones for more support. Placing again the hands on top of the thighs, resting here. And if you'd like to recline, you can bring one block along the spine and the other underneath the head. So there's not a right or wrong variation or one that's better than the other. You're simply choosing what feels best in your body, allowing the practice to be your own, working with your body and also honoring yourself. So once you've found a comfortable position, stay where you are, begin to connect with your breath. And then when you're ready, slowly, if you are reclined, begin to come back up into a seated position. We'll remove both of the blocks from our mats. And then preparing for a pigeon pose here. So resting the right knee in front, extending the left leg behind you. And we'll be using a block underneath the right hip. From here, sit up nice and tall, find a nice tall spine. Make sure the back leg is straight behind you. And then grabbing your second block, placing it in front of that knee. And coming into a forward fold, resting the forearms beside the block, allowing your forehead to rest on the block. Taking one more deep breath here. As you're ready, coming onto the hands, pressing yourself up, removing the blocks, and then switching sides, extending the left knee in front, right leg extended behind, placing a block underneath the opposite hip bone. Then when you're comfortable and ready, placing the other block in front of you and finding a forward fold. Allowing your forehead to rest on the block, calming the nervous system, coming back to the breath. Taking one more breath here. And rising up from your forward folds. Gently remove the blocks and place them on either side of the mat. Then we'll move on to our backs here, drawing the knees into the chest, wrapping your arms around the knees, giving yourself a big hug. We'll keep the right knee extended in the chest. We'll extend the left leg straight out in front. From here, take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, twisting the right knee across the body and placing the block underneath the right knee. Easing into this gentle supine twist. And if it's comfortable for you, you can bring your gaze towards the right side. Slowly drawing the right knee back in, and then drawing the left knee in as well. Keeping the left knee extended in towards the chest. Extend the right leg straight out in front. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, twist the left knee across the body, placing the block underneath the left knee. Slowly bringing that left knee back in. Right knee follows, hugging both into the chest. And then finding happy baby. Bringing the arms inside of the legs. Hands reach for the outer edges of the feet. Drawing the knees towards the outer ribs. Maybe gently rock from side to side. And then as you're ready, slowly releasing your feet back down, preparing for shavasana, bringing the blocks underneath the knees for support here. Resting the hands alongside the body with the palms faced up. Beginning to settle into this pose, drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Taking a deep inhale here through the lungs. And as you exhale, let it all go. Sigh it out. Feel your body sinking deeper into the floor beneath you. Relaxing your jaw, your cheeks. Closing your eyes if they're not closed already. Relaxing the space in between the eyebrows. And resting here in shavasana. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back into your body. Finding circular movements with the wrists and the ankles. And stretching the arms above the head. Bending the knees, and as you're ready, slowly coming up into a seated position, keeping the eyes closed. And take a moment to find gratitude for yourself, for making time to practice, finding gratitude for this body and all that it allows you to do. We'll bring our hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.